All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the post-game presser. We have Bowie State head football coach Damon Wilson. Coach, before you get started with your opening remarks, could you please introduce your players?
Yes. I have Jerome Johnson, quarterback, and Miles Wolford, defensive back. As far as the opening statement, we lost against a very good Valdosta State team. We didn't play well consistently throughout the game. We did some things well, but those guys are good. When you get to this spot in the playoffs, you can't make those mistakes that you can make against teams that may not be as good. And we made some mistakes, whether it was communication and just physical mistakes. But we didn't play our best game today, and we lost the ball game. But all in all, these guys, I'm so proud of our guys. We ran off 12 straight wins. We did some things in school history that's never been done before. So I'm really excited about where the team is going, but we have some more work to do.
We'll open the floor up for questions.
Okay. Coach, you guys only had 221 yards of total offense. Only ran for 72. In terms of establishing a run game, they kind of took that away from you and kind of hurt your ability to kind of establish things offensively, it seemed like.
Yeah, you're right. Anytime you're trying to win a ball game, you got to be able to run the ball, and we weren't able to do that. We put ourselves behind the sticks early in the game, and then we kind of spotted almost 21 points, and it's tough to kind of run the ball and try to battle back. So we dug ourselves in the hole, and it was tough to get out of.
Defensively, going against, obviously, with such a highly ranked defense, you guys went up against an explosive offense. So talk about the different challenges Valdosta State presented that you guys maybe had some problems with today.
First of all, shouts out to Valdosta State. They played a great game today. Different challenges, I'd say. Number 9, he's a great player. Quarterback position, he's very fast and explosive. I think we had trouble containing him sometimes, and then other than that, we were just out of place a lot of times. We didn't play disciplined football, and we made mistakes that we haven't been making usually in previous games. So it kind of bit us in our butts when we playing a good team such as Valdosta. So you just can't make those mistakes.
Yeah, Coach. What takeaways from this game do you feel like could improve next year's team and next season?
Well, I'm enjoying the season we just had, to be honest with you. I'm not thinking about next year right now. Jerome's a senior, man, and this guy had a hell of a career at Bowie State University, and so I want those guys to enjoy what we've been able to do. I'm gonna sit back and do the same thing as a coach, and then they got to hit the recruiting trail, but then get ready for next season. But last time we were here, I think they scored 66 points, so we're a little closer. I think we're going in the right direction. But you're talking about a team that's won several national championships. We're trying to get to that point.
For the players, Jerome and Miles, can you talk about just the overall experience of being able to play in a quarterfinal round?
It's different, transfer from a school that really ain't win. So I always been losing, so I got to college, so I got to Bowie. So and it's good to be a part of history. Like, it's never been done at our school, so we just got to build from it, something to build from, get better. And the guys that's coming up next to learn and prosper through it.
It's obviously an amazing feeling. It's a historic team. We're not going to shy away from the fact that we made history here at Bowie State this year, but we want better. The goal was the national championship, and we fell short. So for the young guys, I'm going to tell them to keep their head high. Now that they've been here, it's time to get here again and time to go further next time.
Jerome, you seemed frustrated at times, coming to the sideline. You were hobbled. In terms of how you're feeling, how do you feel like maybe the ankle injury or whatever maybe hindered your ability to kind of make the plays you wanted to make today?
I'm frustrated. I've been dealing with it for weeks now. So it's about me playing, it's just getting worse and worse every week. But there's some things you got to do for your teammates. Like, I expect them to do the same for me, so I would do the same for them. I'm going to fight until the wheels fall off. That's just the mindset I got. And these people are family to me, so I do whatever I got to do in my power to make sure everybody's happy.
As a senior, did you feel like you had to kind of set that example? Obviously, you talked about wanting to go until the wheels fall off. Talk about how maybe you had to kind of set that example for the team, especially at this point in the playoffs.
Yeah, by me playing the quarterback, I'm the leader of the team. Like, people will look up to me, so whatever I do, next guy go do. They feed off what I got going on. So my head being there, I wasn't so much frustrated with the team, frustrated with myself, because I know I can do better. I'm better than what I'm producing on the field. So it's just me personally, I know that I didn't do the best job I should have done to make my team successful.
Any more questions? All right. Well,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, here for the Valdosta State press conference, we have head coach Gary Goff, along with to his left, graduate wide receiver Brian Sons, and to his right, senior linebacker Nick Moss. Coach, please open with a statement about the game.
Like soon to be graduate, right? Like next week.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah, hats off to Bowie State. That's a really good football team. Their defense was exceptional. They were really good up front. Offensively, I know their quarterback's a little bit banged up, but he's a really good football player as well. But really happy with how we played. I thought defensively our guys did a great job trying to corral him, prevent the big plays downfield, because most of the season he scrambled around and threw the ball downfield and made some great throws and catches with those receivers. So I thought our defense did a great job containing him. We only gave up 221 total yards to them, so very pleased with that. And then offensively, I thought, our offensive line and running backs did a great job getting something going in the run game. Bowie State sold out to stop the run. We still rushed for 185 yards, but those were tough yards. They're really good up front. But pleased with how HJ played. He had a big day, throwing the football, threw for 348 with 4 touchdowns. So very pleased at how we continue to move the ball up and down the field and get on the board offensively. But like I said, hats off to the Bowie State, really good football team.
Coaches, or questions for the student athletes?
I got a question for you, Brian. You had a big game today, having 10 catches for over 146 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. Great day. So just tell me how you were able to attack the DBs today.
Well, a lot of the DBs were looking at LC, and they were queuing in on our running backs. So they left me open, and AJ found me. It's all with the offense. Like, everybody's looking at AJ, everybody's looking at Seth, everybody's looking at Jamar, everybody's looking at LC, and sometimes they look at me, and today they didn't. It just happened.
You talked about that 2 weeks ago, when the opportunity arises to make the most of it. Today, kind of exhibit A of
Exactly.
just that.
Yeah, just whenever the opportunity presents itself, you take advantage of it. And I did today. AJ found me. We had some easy passes, and they got the run game going, and it got other people open. So overall, we played pretty well.
Nick, talk about this offense, and they had a great running back, Harlan Hill, finalist running back. What did you guys do to look to stop the run when they only had 70-some yards of rushing today?
We knew they had a small weakness in their O-line. Our D-line took advantage of it. Our speed helped us out a lot. Today. And our other linebacker, Jamian Gaskin, he had a big game with 9 tackles. He came up and made some big boy hits, and we just all sparked together. And the big thing about our defense, we stayed together. We had no individuals. We just depend on everybody to make a play, and everybody made the plays they needed to make today.
More questions?
Buzz, just you had such a big game. Obviously, you pulled up with the hamstring later. How are you feeling now after having a chance to?
I feel good. I'm confident. I'm confident that God's really good and that He's going to heal it in a mighty way. So regardless, though, our team is so much bigger than me. So we're not worried about, hey, it's next day, it's next play, it's next man up. Council came in and got a big first down. It happens like that. So just going to take it day by day and see how the outcome is.
Any more questions?
Coach, you guys held them to 4 of 13 on third down. You really had some success early getting them off the field, and they didn't really get a first down until later in the game. So talk about defensively, kind of the focus and how you were able to neutralize the offense.
Well, we figured their game plan would be a little bit like West Alabama was, where they would try to establish a run game. They've had several games where they've rushed the ball over 50 times. So we kind of came into this knowing that defense is going to have to get some stops early on. Offensively, we're going to have to put points on the board early on. If we could do that, we'd put them behind and force them to play catch-up at some point. So I thought we went out there and did a great job of that in that first half. And they still found some big plays here and there, but hey, I'll take this every game of the season if we can hold them to 221 yards. So really excited about our defensive play today, and we're going to have another great effort defensively next week as well once we find out who we're playing.
Coach, you mentioned starting early. You scored with less than 3 minutes into this game. How important was it to set that tempo, set that pace early on?
Very. Your defense got a 3 and out. And then they had a miscue on the punt team, so we had a great field position right there. And again, trying to figure out how they're going to play us. They were stacking the box and slanting their line. And we came up and made a big third down pass right there in the end zone for the first score. But, very important. I think we've done a good job of that all season long, is getting on the board quick. We've done a good job of dominating the 8, and that's, we talked about that last week, the end of the first half, beginning of the second half. I really would have liked for us to put 7 points on the board that first drive in the third quarter, but, points are points. But, very important. When you're playing really good football teams, we're going to all the way through this, very important to get the lead early and kind of put the pressure on them.
Coach, you're in the national semifinals. Has it sunk in yet? I mean,
Not yet. I'm still coach mode. I know I got to find out who I'm playing here in about 2 or 3 hours, and then start game planning immediately. But no, I mean what an unbelievable season. I'm so happy for our team and our staff. They've worked extremely hard, and to be in the Final Four right now, gosh, it's a great day to be a Blazer.
A great day. It's a great day.
I mean, going along with that, guys, how you feeling?
It feels good, but this is exactly what we expected, and it's not over yet. We still got a lot of work to do. We still got, we plan on playing for 2 more weeks. We plan on winning the day every day, and we plan on that on the 18th. We plan on winning that day too. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's freaking Christmas.
You gotta stop asking Buzz questions. I'm starting to get nervous.
It's Christmas, baby.
Hey, Coach, earlier in the week you talked about Bowie having different fronts that you guys probably never seen on film. So how are you guys able to adapt and still put up over 500 yards on offense today?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say at this point of the season you're not going to see something you hadn't seen already. There's only so many different ways somebody can line up and bring pressure. So we kind of seen it all at this point. However, with that said, they were a dynamic front. They were really big, physical, long, athletic guys, and they did a lot. They did a lot. They moved their 2 best players to the edge and then to the inside. And then you saw, I think their first sack, which I think we give up 2 sacks today, I think. Was it 1?
1.
Okay, so we doubled our year right there. But that 1 sack, the pressure they got, they did a good job of a stunt up front, brought pressure from the boundary right there. And they just brought more than we could pick up, But, I think their defensive line is the reason they've won so many football games this season, because they're dominant. They really are. They're a great front.
Gary, is that the best line? Is that the best defensive front you think we've seen this year?
That probably is the best defense front we've seen this season. Absolutely. We've seen in the Gulf South Conference some really good players here and there, but as a core group, that's probably the best front we've seen all year.
Any more questions?
Was there any key differences that you noticed between, because the last time you played against them was in 2018, and was there anything that you thought was
not really? That coaching staff's been there for 11 years. They've been there for a while. We actually went back to the 18 game and actually watched that to see the similarities. I think every season, teams are a little different. You might have a different player here, a better player there, or something. So there are little changes. But overall, same scheme, the same team. I think their quarterback they got this year was probably better than the quarterback they had back in 18. He's just a dynamic player. But really very, very similar just because that staff's been there for so long.
Any more questions? All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Move on to the national semifinals. Yes, we'll find out.